can't say yes in full and I can't say no in full. I mean, it's selfish, it's self-centered, I mean, you're focused on yourself 24/7, 365 if you are taking it to the level I'm at and others I aspire to be like are at. There's definitely been periods where I think I could feel lonely if I allow myself to, but at the same time, like, I always remind myself that I'm choosing to do this. No one's holding a gun to my head. This has always been the path that I've gravitated towards following. Bodybuilding for me is a way of life. It's become a discipline that I've integrated into, how I live my day to day. I'm very routine, very structured. My days need purpose that I can quantify progression from. Without being able to measure progression, I get lost in life. And the only few years of my life that I can think back on that I didn't really have anything that I was striving to get better at day to day were probably some of the worst years of my life, as far as like, what was I accomplishing, who was I hanging out with, what kind of decisions was I making. A lot of poor choices were during those years, and it's because I didn't have a concrete goal. Within that, bodybuilding is also a product of my love for training. I'm 32 years old. I started training when I was 12. So this year marks 20 years of training, 2 decades of never missing a week in the gym of my life. So just pushing my body to new limitations and breaking through those limitations and living my life in that manner that I don't have limitations is part of who I am. And I think the ability to do that and learn what you're made of and learn that there really is nothing that you can't do if your mind is strong enough to lead your body through that, that's been my passion. And then bodybuilding became a product of that 10 years ago. And then now it's this whole encompassing lifestyle. It's this discipline that, led me to finding stoicism and living my life as a stoic. And all these little things that have affected the trajectory of my life all wouldn't have been possible without, in 2014, walking into South Lyon Powerhouse and meeting my eventual first coach, who led me to the stage for my first show 13 weeks after I met him. And from there, I still have more to give. I still have a desire I haven't accomplished the vision for my physique that I know is possible. So there's a drive in me. That's why I live my life as I do. All the decisions I do, moving from Detroit to Arizona was to pursue bodybuilding. Quitting the fire service to work for myself was to become a better bodybuilder. Every single little thing that I've done has been to leverage being a better bodybuilder because of this vision that really only I can see. And then, you share that vision with others and they start to see it. No 2 preps are different. I think I've learned a lot about how I need to train during contest prep versus off season. I have thin joints. I'm not a thick jointed, heavy set individual. My body wants to be lean, so contest prep isn't terribly challenging for me. It provides, certain struggles at different points to get stage ready, but my body wants to be lean, and I don't have the joint structure where I'm heavy jointed. So with that has come, I've had a few injuries this prep that have derailed my training or caused me to have to stimulate the muscle in new ways and maybe not train the way that I'm passionate about. But with that, I look at it as I can't have an emotional attachment to how I want to train when my end goal is to bring the best version of myself to the stage, better than I've ever brought before. So that has been my greatest reflection this prep is you have to do what's necessary, even if it's not what you want to do. I'm still grateful that I'm able to train. I'm still, it's just a realization that I will always be performance driven. And that's why, I talk about training being the catalyst. That is why I bodybuild. And I learned that more than ever this prep, because I can't push the heavy weights that I can do in the off season when I'm heavier. I can't train in the lower rep ranges that I'm used to. I have to focus more on consistency and rhythm of my reps versus progression and overload of the bar or weight on the bar. So that, along with, you know, being able to not let tunnel vision be a detriment. Like, prep is a very focused time. It's a very selfish time. But at the same time, if you can use tunnel vision to your advantage and use it in spurts when you need it as a tool rather than something that's going to take away from you, you'll get along a lot further. That's a difficult one to answer. I mean, I can't say yes in full and I can't say no in full. I mean, it's selfish, it's self-centered, you're focused on yourself 24/7, 365 if you are taking it to the level I'm at and others I aspire to be like are at. There's definitely been periods where I think I could feel lonely if I allow myself to, but at the same time, like, I always remind myself that I'm choosing to do this. No one's holding a gun to my head. This has always been the path that I've gravitated towards following. Is, high school, when I was 17 years old, I get told by college scouts for baseball that I need to be bigger, stronger, and faster. That led me to finding a bodybuilding book, and then that started this path. And then I'm consumed by bodybuilding, but never knew how to try it till 23. And then I meet my first coach, and then I get the bug once I do my first show, and then it's just firefighting. I'm at this crossroads of, I'm not a great firefighter and I'm not a great bodybuilder, and I'm not doing so well at the departments I'm at, and I have a choice to make: stay a firefighter or pursue bodybuilding in full. And I chose bodybuilding. It comes to staying in the only area you've ever known, the only state you've ever known, or moving west and chasing a dream that no one can see but you. And I chose moving west, and I've never been homesick 1 hour of one day in my life since I left Michigan. So I don't think I allow myself to feel lonely. I think I'm very good alone. I think I'm a bit nomadic. I think I'm built for the life I'm living because it's different than what the norm is. I've always been a rebel. I've always, wanted to walk my own path and create my own grind. And I'm not, call it a flaw or call it a strength, but I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being micromanaged, and that was a huge issue I had in the fire service. So, bodybuilding can be lonely, but some of my best friends and the people I'm closest with in this world are also as obsessed with bodybuilding and as driven by bodybuilding, and they've chosen to make a career in bodybuilding just like me. So I choose not to view it as lonely. I choose it as, I'm introverted, but I'm also an extrovert around the right introverts. My why, I feel like, is continuously evolving. So in the beginning with bodybuilding, it's all about me. It's self-centered. It's, I'm 23. I find this thing that I can excel at and pursue with my best ability every single day, and create this system that allows me to focus on getting better in every little facet, every little day, or every day. And it's all about me. When I became a coach and I started doing that full time, that's when I realized my why is also to lead. My part of my purpose here on this earth, and I think a lot of people go their whole lives without ever knowing what their purpose is, and I truly feel bad for those people, and I encourage them to seek it, to find out what your purpose is. But I was born to lead. I was born to not necessarily inspire, but I was born to create a way for others to feed off my passion and put it towards their own passion or their own endeavors. So coaching is an art to me. It's not just like knowledge and X's and O's and telling people to eat egg whites and chicken and, add more cardio. It's dealing with the psychological makeup of an individual, figuring out what their traumas are, what their issues are, why they can't make progress, why they can't achieve a goal, and then giving them the tools to do so. Now, that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, definitely applies to coaching. But at the same time, I think about all the people along my way, all the different coaches, even if it was someone I met just in passing who might have had one little bit of advice or one little thing they said to me that for whatever reason I still remember to this day. That's the type of impact I can have as a coach is I could change the trajectory of someone's life just like other people have changed the trajectory of mine. So when your why becomes bigger than you get better. It's a cheat code to getting better. When it was just about me, you know, I was somewhere in here. When it became about helping others and providing a service for others to get better and progress, and I was sharing my passion towards progression with others, then my why exploded and it evolved. And that's where I am today is, you know, I want to impact as many people as I can. I want to develop my brand and to develop the morals behind the brand and really expand on that and take this thing as big as I can. And I'm grateful that I have the platform and the ability to do so. And I'm also, I can look back and almost with a nostalgia of like admiration that I'm really stoked and just really almost empowered that I took a chance I took a chance quitting a career. I took a chance moving out west with just $3,000 in my account and no plan, nowhere to go. I didn't even have a place to move into. I stayed in a hotel for 2 months. I'm glad that I took a chance and bet it all on myself, because had I not, I would have never tapped into what my true purpose is. I would have never found my calling. I wouldn't be able to know what true passion feels like and to be jerked out of bed in the morning by that passion and to have that passion make you work until you have to staple your eyelids open at night because you don't want to stop working type passion. I'm really grateful that I took a chance on myself and I continue taking chances on myself every day. And that's the impact I want to have, is to let others know that they're the creator of their reality.